And pardon?
I just started recording, so you have to repeat yourself.
But I repeat myself. Um,
No, let me do some introductions. Hold on a second. So, I'm really thrilled to have somebody here from the National Restaurant Association, but what we're here talking about is restaurantowner.com, and I have been a fan of Restaurant Owner for years. I wish it was available when I was in the restaurant industry. I really do. I don't believe it was because that was like before computers and it wasn't quite, but it was a long time ago. So I just think it's something that any restaurant operator that is not a chain operator and doesn't have the systems necessarily, I think it's something they should be using. Um, and I mean, we here at the Restaurant Association have been members of restaurantowner.com just to kind of help our members understand what they need. So I was thrilled when I found out that the National Restaurant Association bought restaurantowner.com and that they were going to allow us, the state restaurant associations, to sell it to our members for a discount. I was just talking with Tom Martin here, and Tom uses it all the time. I happen to know that about him. Um, but Tom, say a few words about Restaurant Owner if you don't mind.
well, I met Jim Lau years and years ago, and I have been a member ever since. I can't tell you, Jim might be able to tell you how far back I go, but I'm sure it's pretty close to the beginning of it. It started out with just, some basic forms. And then over the years, it has progressed and grown and morphed into programs. It's morphed into videos. It's gone into um, webinars on a regular basis. And everything that he said, I think, and I don't want to play semantics here, but Carol, you said you think any restaurant owner should do it. I'm going to change that to every independent restaurant owner should use it. The work that Jim has gone into putting it up is phenomenal. Um, I don't know if there's a trial period that people can go through, um, but again, the forums, these programs, the courses that he's set up have just grown and get better, and we use it regularly. Again, I can't tell you no. Do I go to it every day, every hour? No, but I'll guarantee you that if you have a question about anything in the restaurant industry, he's got a form there, he's got a program there, he's got a video that addresses those things. And I mean, I can't say enough uh, about restaurantowner.com. Uh, and Jim Laub himself. Uh, Jim is just a great person, and he is absolutely dedicated to the restaurant industry and the independent restaurant too.
Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate that. And I've known Tom for almost as many years as he's been in the restaurant industry. And so and he does a fabulous job operating his restaurant. So with that, I want to introduce Sarah Bray. Sarah is from the National Restaurant Association. She is spearheading this new capability of us to bring a restaurant owner to you. And again, I'm thrilled with that. I think it's what we need to be doing for our independent restaurant members. So Sarah, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Carol. I'm happy to be here with you all. I'm Sarah Bray with the National Restaurant Association. And as Tom was just saying, more than 20 years ago, the founders of Restaurant Owner identified an opportunity to support independent restaurant owners. Jim Laub, one of the original founders, was consulting restaurants and accounting, and he got frustrated because so many new businesses were failing. And so that was kind of the premise of how Restaurant Owner was born. And in April of 2023, the National Restaurant Association welcomed Restaurant Owner under our leadership because we wanted to offer more premier solutions and affordable solutions to independent restaurant operators. And so we're really proud to partner with the New Mexico Restaurant Association to bring this exceptional and quite affordable platform to you. I'd like to kick it off with a really short 3-minute video that demonstrates how Restaurant Owner can help.
I'd like you to meet two independent restaurant owners, Ashley and Eric. They're both very passionate about serving high-quality, made-from-scratch food. Their restaurants are in good locations, and they operate in the same local market. But that's where the similarity ends. Eric is usually exhausted. He rarely takes a day off. He's overworked and often understaffed. Good people are hard to find, and there's never enough time for proper training. Eric's convinced that he's the only one who can do things right, and he thinks that if he spends more time training someone, they'll probably just quit. A few miles up the road is Ashley. Ashley has a good staff, even though she hires from the same labor pool as Eric. One of her managers implemented a selection system that tells them if someone is likely to be a good fit or not. All of her managers and employees know what's expected of them and that their job is important. Ashley's training systems are organized and up to date, and they help new employees quickly feel confident and productive. Ashley treats her people well, and she's just as concerned about her restaurant's employee experience as their guest experience. During the past year, Ashley's restaurant has been very profitable. Eric's restaurant is struggling. Costs have gone up and sales are flat. He's a smart guy. He knows his prime cost is too high, but he can't pinpoint exactly where the problem is. He knows he needs better people, but he's never been taught how to be a good leader and build a positive culture. Eric also knows he needs better systems to control costs and create a better, more consistent guest experience. But every time he tries, he gets overwhelmed and quits. Ashley also understands the importance of controlling prime cost, and her management team calculates it every Monday morning. Ashley and her managers have also become better leaders. They're taking online courses on leadership and culture and discussing the key points at their weekly meetings. They even have a way to make selected videos and other training content available to their hourly staff. By the way, Ashley got her advice, systems, prime cost insights, and the management and employee training platform on restaurantowner.com. Ashley and her entire management team save time, money, and frustration because they don't have to reinvent the wheel whenever they need a new training program, checklist, system, or whatever. And on the Restaurant Owner discussion forum, they're able to tap into the wisdom and experience of restaurant experts and learn what thousands of other independent operators are talking about and doing. The restaurant business is much too tough to be like Eric. If you're ready for your restaurant and lifestyle to be more like Ashley's and less like Eric's, why not do what Ashley did and become a member of restaurantowner.com? On this page, you'll see more of the resources and benefits that Ashley and her team have used to make their restaurant a better place to work and a more profitable business. If you really want to have a better restaurant and more successful business, please consider becoming a part of restaurantowner.com. We look forward to welcoming you and your entire team today.
So restaurantowner.com is a premier subscription platform designed just for independent operators like yourselves. I used it actually when I was on the industry side. I used to have my own restaurants as well. And it's really everything on the platform is around 3 core pillars: effective systems, a great culture, a positive culture for employees and customers, and maintaining a thriving business. And so I'm going to walk through what those content pieces are and what everything the platform has to offer for you. And then if there's time, I can show you under the hood, so to speak, in my account, a little demo live on the site as well. But as we look at those 3 pillars, those are really bucketed into 3 areas on the website. One, we have insights, industry insights and best practices, which you see here. And the second is we have a resource library, which holds all of the content And I'll cover that. And then the third is the newest and most recent year's addition to Restaurant Owner, which is our proprietary learning management system, the Restaurant Owner Learning System. So first, from an industry insights and best practices, we have a weekly best practice email. We have our bi-monthly newsletter, webinars, and podcasts. We share success stories. In fact, our team is out filming with a member this week. And we do have an operator discussion forum. And I'll give you a preview of each of those. Our weekly best practice comes out every Tuesday morning, and it focuses on one core area within the business to focus on. So you see a recent example of here of reducing utility costs. And within that best practice, there'll be links to other tools and resources. If it's something you're interested in, that you can dig deeper on. If it's not a best practice that you need, you can move on. It's the idea is for it to be a short soundbite of something that's important to help you with your business. And again, that's just an example there of some of the other tools and resources that will link into that best practice. Our bi-monthly newsletter is a deeper dive. We have here industry-related articles. And again, those are going to be around those pillars I mentioned of effective systems, great culture, and operating an effective business. We'll typically also feature a member spotlight and have them talk about their business and what's worked for them. Have any new featured content. Sometimes we'll cover something within the platform to help people, like maybe I opened a new restaurant and I want a reminder on how to add my second restaurant into the platform, which is really easy to do. And then we'll have quick links in there for upcoming events and our podcasts. The podcast is The Corner Booth, and that's hosted by Chris Tripoli, and he does a fantastic job. And again, I know when I was an operator, some of the best sound bites I got and the information I got was from other operators through my state restaurant association. And so we've just continued to feature operators and have them share their stories, and folks really tend to like it. And then our webinars, we really try to keep those around what's important to members. And we have guest speakers from industry. There's a lot going on in the political environment right now, so you'll see us bring in some folks to help address that in the months to come. And we have industry speakers. So, and a lot of times we're just, what is important to members at the time? What are they telling us? And we adjust accordingly. And again, the member success stories. I think I actually have a soundbite of one in here. Yep, right here. Play that real quick.
One of the best decisions I ever made in this company was to become affiliated with restaurantowner.com. It was the thing that took me from struggling and floundering to focused, structured systems development. And once I got that, once I grokked it, we just took off. There was no stopping us from there. In fact, it was restaurantowner.com that helped us build the entire platform that took us from one location to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 and now to franchising. Thank you for that.
So that's just a little snippet.
One of the best decisions.
Our forum. So your associates won't see this, but you can, it's designed for the owners and you could give access to your managers as well. This is a snapshot from the forum recently. So you'll see there's a question about POS systems. Somebody's micros is going away, or the version that they have. And so they were asking, hey, what's out there? And it was great because we saw other members respond, I just did this exercise and I looked at these 3 different POS systems and they're sharing insights with one another. So it's just a safe place for operators to talk to one another and also a great place for them to talk to us. You'll see down there a little ways, there was a discussion about some Spanish training. And so we had a couple people say, hey, we love that you have several things that have the Spanish. We'd love to see these particular courses translated as well. So our content team went, great, we'll move those up. And we knew to prioritize those in the development pipeline. So we love the forum for a lot of those reasons. And then as we move on to the resource library, this is where you'll find most of the content within the platform where you can go to it quickly. There's business plans and startup and growth resources. There's over 600 downloads. There's over 200 training videos. There's digital training manuals. Back when I used Restaurant Owner, we used to have to print the training manuals and put those in a binder. Those have all been digitized. You can still print them if you want, but you can also customize them and have them in the LMS system and onboard your folks digitally. Put your logo in there and all of that. And then we also have operating systems. So kind of walk through there. The resource library is organized not only by content type, our articles, our downloads, our courses, the success stories, surveys, systems, training videos, and podcasts and webinars, but also in these topical areas of finance, growth, leadership, marketing, operations, staffing, and startup. So as you click on each of those, you'll see even more further subtopics. But of course, there's also a search bar. So if you just wanted to type in labor cost or food cost or whatever, hospitality, it will curate those resources for you as well to just make it really easy for you to find things. This is just an example of some of our tools and articles and some of our different systems that we have in there. Restaurant opening manual. The videos, you can actually go in the New Mexico Restaurant Association landing page also has some sample videos in there if you want to go in and watch some videos. And we have a QR code at the end of this presentation, but you can also go to the New Mexico Restaurant Association website to get to there. All kinds of different forms. We have a ton of checklists. Those can also be digitized in our checklist generator. Cost of sales worksheets, marketing plans, you name it, it's there. And again, those training manuals I talked about earlier. One of the things we did is we curated some systems because there are just some things that people naturally were going to and searching for, and we wanted to make it easy. So kitchen systems, for example, you'll see where we curated a bunch of resources around this topic, everything from purchasing and receiving, your prep systems, your menu production, your recipe management, your inventory, and your checklists and your resources, just to make it really easy for you to find what you need around a typical system or topic within the restaurant. And then there's the restaurant owner learning system. All of our plans come with the learning system. This has all of the online courses. We have curated learning paths. We have progress reports, all of our lessons. You can build your own lessons. You can build your own quizzes if you want. You can download a video of chef preparing a new menu item and put that in there and then send a notification out to all the team members that you want to view it. So this is an example of the dashboard. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in just a second, but some of the curated learning paths are there in the middle. So if you don't know where to start and you don't really have the time to build a pathway, we already have some built for you on what's kind of universal for folks to learn within front of the house or back of the house or management. But of course, you could take our courses and pick whatever you want, assign it to specific. You could say, this is for cashiers, or this is for hosts. This is for my bar team. This is for my supervisors. And you could combine our content with your content or use one or the other. Within the learning progress report, you're going to see, here's the manager example, where you are, what your average quiz score is, how much time you've spent in each course, which makes it really easy to track. Same thing for your team members. You can drill down to each individual team member and see what course they're in, how long they've spent in there, and if there's, a test in there, what they're scoring on that. So that's really nice from a tracking standpoint. And again, with the premium membership, you can build your own custom training modules, and we walk you through that step by step. We also have specialists available if you need a hand. A lot of our folks like to self-service, but sometimes it's just nice to have a human being to walk you through things, and we can do that for you. Again, there's over 400 lessons and quiz templates. So just showing you some of these examples here. We have a great menu training templates. Your team members, when they log in, they're going to come through the team portal. They could do that on their smartphone if that's convenient, because we do have an app. And your team portal will be customized with your logo for your restaurant. If you have multiple brands, if you have 3 restaurants and they all are 3 different brands with 3 different logos, you can set that up as well, no problem. Your managers, depending on the access level you give them, and the owners would come into the system and would be able to see everything, the forum, all of the content. But your team members are only going to see what you assign to them specifically, which is nice. And again, you can do that by role. So you could give your cooks something different than you give your front of the house, for example. I can remember having like 20 clipboards hanging in my office, and many of us still do, but our checklist generator also allows you to digitize your checklists, customize them, digitize them, and use them on a smartphone or a tablet if you'd like. And this is also something that we're looking at this year. So if this is something you're passionate about and you want to have input on it, reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. This is just a snapshot of everything I just talked about within the platform. So really super affordable. Our standard pricing normally starts at $29 for a monthly plan, but with your restaurant association membership, you get 15% off monthly plans in New Mexico and 30% off annual plans. So the pricing you see here is with the discount. I want to explain how the plans are. We offer two basic plans, the standard and the pro plan, and these provide access to all of our general resources, including the standard LMS system that features ready-made training and content. The primary distinction between the standard and the pro is just size. The standard is for 3 managers and 30 staff, and the pro goes up to 100. And I want to just kind of emphasize to the price point on that. If you look at a standard plan, if you started with a standard plan and did the annual at the $244, where you get the 30% discount, that comes out to less than $7.40 for an entire year per person. So that's pretty awesome. And then what's different about our top tier plan, the premium plan, is that this is tailored for teams that want that customized training experience. So it allows you to personalize the LMS, add your own content, blended with our library, build your own quizzes. So this is really if you want more customization. And with that plan that starts at $50, again, that's going to be for the 33 users, $15 for a whole entire year per person. And those prices come down with volume, obviously. So we do have larger plans, but I wanted to just explain the difference between those plans for you. And then lastly, you can go to restaurantowner.com and you can explore around, and I'm going to show you the site live here in a second. But just make sure that when you go to buy, don't buy within just the regular restaurantowner.com. Go to the New Mexico landing page. It's available here on the QR code. You can also find it on their website. So that you can get your member exclusive discounts. So let me stop sharing for just a second. I'm going to exit out of here and I'm going to bring up my account just so I can show you around under the hood. All right. I'm going to reshare. And I will log in. Okay, so you'll see the different areas across the top here. Here's the resource library I mentioned. You see all the different areas and topics. You could go view all topics if you wanted. But again, I could just come up here. I could say, I want to see all your checklists and do a search there. Or I could put cost control. And then if I wanted to go down deeper and say, I want to read an article, or I want to see what courses are available and look at those. So navigating the resource library is pretty easy. Within your own membership, when you first sign on to Restaurant Owner, you'll go to a welcome page and there are step-by-step videos to help you get started. This also kind of walks you through so that it'll walk you through how to actually add a restaurant. So you'll see here, I added Sarah's Savory Cafe. If I wanted to add another one, this is where I would do it. How to add your managers. Again, really easy. So you could add managers and just essentially set up your team groups, like your hosts and things like that, or before you start sharing different courses that you want. So you'll see here, I have this one, Words Matter, that I've shared out to all my hosts in Sarah's Savory Cafe. So it's pretty easy to navigate within the platform itself. And again, you can go out here and you can explore and get a sneak peek of content to see what's in there. We pretty much make that all available on the site. You You just won't be able to see it all without becoming a member, or subscriber. So I think that's pretty much the overview, Carol, and I know we're at time. Is there any questions I can answer or anything else I can cover for you?
Well, I appreciate that. I'm gonna just really quickly cover where they go on our website, just because sometimes things look buried. And just so everybody knows, this lovely little search button here really does a great job of finding things. But so if you go to membership, go to member benefits, and restaurant owner is right here in the middle. Click on that, and that will get you to this page, and you can then get to the page to join at the
And Tom, you can take advantage now of the discount.
Right.
So we'll need to get you converted over since you're already a member, so you can take advantage of your membership discount. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
So,
Sarah, that was a good overview. It went far further than what I even realized was out there.
yeah,
It really evolved.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
it's gone a long way, especially with the LMS, the learning management system. I had no idea it had that availability. And so, yeah, anybody should put that, use that in their restaurants if they can. Now I know that I had prepped Dion to, if she has anything else, I was going to be a little bit late. Sarah was going to be a little bit late. I said, Dion, get ready to talk about things. So is there any membership stuff that you want to talk about beyond restaurant owner for the folks that are here?
Sure. I just want to go ahead and I will share my screen as well. Just to point out, we've got a new member portal that we're really excited about. And it looks like you can see that right there, or see our website from there. So from the member portal, just like Carol showed you how to get to the member benefits, you can also go to this member login. And you'll see an Info Hub login for New Mexico Restaurant Association. From there, you're going to just don't have an account, create one. Now, we're going to also email all of our members direct links to do this, but if you want to, you can go in and do it on your own as well. Once you create your listing and your login there, then it's going to look like this. So I went ahead and logged in on my own. So you will go in and put in your information. When you create your login, you'll be able to create a username, use your own email, whatever works best for you.
And what we're saying is we know that you already had a login on our last system, but we've just changed systems. So you're going to have to create a new one, right?
So from here, yeah, you'll have to create a new one, yes. And as soon as you log in, it will go ahead and tell you if you have any open balances with regards to your dues or any events that you attended. You can look at your directory listing and change that up and add things to it. You can also look at any events that are coming up. You can look at a direct link to our vendors and members directories. So if you are a restaurant member and you need to look for a vendor, they're completely separate now. You can see all of their information. We also are really excited about the resource library. It's not very pretty yet, but it's hopefully going to be. But there are sets of resources in here under all of these different categories, including, for example, when you go to alcohol, you'll be able to download all of the required posters that ABC requires you to do. So just a little quick touch there on that. You can also go in and add all of your information as well and add additional staff for your location so that they'll have access to this too. So that is that for the new site. You can find under this member benefits page where Carol showed you restaurant owner, you'll also see our other benefits, and each one of them have a landing page as well, so that you can go and learn more about the other benefits that are provided to you with your membership. Any questions on that? That's it. That's all I have.
Thanks so much, Dion. I really appreciate it. And Sarah, I appreciate it. If there are no other questions, I think this is it. And thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you, Dion, and thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. And this will be a recording that we will send out as well. So thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Sarah.
Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye-bye.